In this video, we're going to be answering the question, will my ex give clues that they want me back? We're also going to be talking about negative clues in this video, so please stay tuned for that as well. But first, my name is Clay with ModernLove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, do me a favor by giving this video a thumbs up and maybe think about subscribing to the channel. You know, it's right down there next to that thumbs up button. Can't miss it. And hit that bell icon while you're down there as well too. You may also want to check out our email newsletter. It's totally free to sign up. You can find it in the description box for this video. We give you tips, advice, and strategies to help you to connect better with your ex, to help you to maybe even find some clues that they want to get back together with you. And of course, you also get a nice little report when you sign up that looks over some of the common beliefs and superstitions, even if you want to call them that, that people have when it comes to getting back together with an ex. And we kind of pull them apart and tell you at least what has worked really well for our clients who have often just ignored these superstitions, these sacred cows, these commonly held beliefs and myths about getting back together with your ex. But more info on that is down below in the description box. Okay, so let's get into this. So if your ex is interested in you and, you know, at the point where they're seriously considering getting back together with you, they will probably give you clues or test the waters in some way. They'll do things to put out feelers. They will say things like, hey, have you ever, thought about us getting back together? That's why we work so well together. Or I've always really liked that about you. Or, next summer, let's do this. Or if we were to ever get married, this would happen. Or, things like that. They'll definitely give you clues if they're at the point in the emotional process where they're really serious about getting back together with you. People, however, don't like to stick their neck out there and take a chance. So they might just do little things to test the waters to see how the other person is feeling. Of course, your ex might be a little bit hesitant. They might be a little bit conservative. They might be a little bit anxious about kind of maybe going a little bit too far. So they might kind of hold themselves back on this, which is why it can also make sense for you to give them a few clues along the way as well too. And I mean, like subtle clues. Don't just say, hey, I want to get back together with you. At least not until you're actually at the new beginnings stage of getting back together. If you don't know what new beginnings is, by the way, you might want to check out our video playlist on the 5 emotional stages that your ex goes through in getting back together with you. You can find that playlist right up there. A lot of people have really liked the 5 stages of getting back together. They found it very insightful. So if you're new here, you might want to think about checking that out. But yeah, they may not want to put their neck out on the line. And so, they may not give some real clues that they're thinking about that until you kind of test the waters yourself as well too. And I think that's totally normal. That follows the investor strategy of taking a little step, seeing if they reciprocate a little bit, then taking another step, another step, and another step, and it just kind of like goes until eventually the two of you are moving things in a positive direction and you gain some momentum, okay? But if your ex is on the earlier stages of those 5 stages, like wall of reactance, test drive, potentially riding the dragon, they may not really give clues to you that they're thinking about getting back together with you or that they want to see what's possible between the two of you. That's because a lot of their thought process is kind of internalized. It's very private. It's turned inwards, and they're not really going to vocalize that stuff because they maybe don't want to give you false hope, or maybe they're not sure how they feel about you, or they're still kind of putting the pieces together in terms of how they could see the two of you fitting into each other's lives moving forward, because this is a process of discovery for them. It's not like they just sort of like know all of the answers and they're like, yes, I will give you another chance, or no, I won't give you another chance. Their emotional world is constantly shifting and changing too. And so you want to keep that in mind, is that they are going through this discovery process of their own as well. And so in the earlier stages, like wall of reactance, definitely, test drive most likely, and probably riding the dragon as well too, they may not give you lots of clues, or they may give you what we call negative clues. So what exactly is a negative clue? A negative clue is when they actively go out of their way to discourage you. Okay, we'll get to that a little bit later, but a lack of clues means that your ex is still forming an opinion of you. And that can mean that, like, okay, their previous opinion that they formed of you that they needed to create in order to justify breaking up with you, they created this negative opinion to kind of tell themselves, like, yeah, I'm still a good person. I didn't, make them cry because I'm a bad person. I didn't ruin their dreams of a relationship because I'm a bad person. I did it because I had to, because they were, this bad person. They had anger issues. They were not trustworthy. They were whatever. And so they had to kind of create this distorted image of you in order to justify why they broke up with you. That is still intact if they're not giving you any clues. Okay, it means that they're still holding on to that previous opinion of you, and you're going to need to focus more on demonstrating change through consistency, showing them that they're not walking back into the same dynamic that they walked out of, all of these other things that we've talked about in many of our other videos. However, negative clues, these are essentially like posturing. These are essentially like saying, like, okay, there's been some damage to that negative image of you that they created in their mind. There's been some damage to it and it's starting to erode, but that negative image is like fighting for its life. They might acknowledge, like, okay, you have made some changes. Okay, yeah, you seem a little bit calmer. You've gotten the anger thing under control. You seem more trustworthy. We are getting along better. But I just can't trust you, or I just don't know if I can. I think it's too late. I don't think there's any possibility for us to get back together. I think that ship has sailed, or whatever. These are like examples of negative clues. And basically what's happening is that negative image, as it's starting to get weaker, they're kind of looking for reassurance that negative image was correct, and that negative image is fighting for its life. Because the weaker that negative image gets, the more it calls into question your ex's identity about themselves, because that negative image is there as a protective mechanism so that your ex doesn't have to think of themselves as potentially a bad person who hurt you, who crushed your hopes of being in a relationship, or something like that. And so as that negative image weakens and starts to fade because you're demonstrating change to them and you're showing them that they can trust the person that you are, they're going to cling to that negative image because they don't want to deal with that possibility that they might have made a mistake, or that they might have hurt you, or that they might have misjudged you, because then that opens them up to the possibility, or at least the question, of, am I a bad person because I hurt you? Am I a bad person because I broke up with us? Am I a bad person because I lost faith in us? Am I a bad person because I made you cry? I said some mean things, or whatever. And so what we want to do is we want to really focus on having positive interactions, focus on demonstrating change, obviously, but we also want to let them know that it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to have this wonderful gift of doubt. Like, nobody needs to know everything. Nobody needs to have everything 100% figured out. I mean, I think I speak for probably everyone out there, except for maybe politicians, when it comes to thinking that, when it comes to saying that, like, okay, we're all just trying to figure out life, and we all are prone to making mistakes, and we all are not going to be the best people all of the time. We all have our past. We all have things that maybe we wish we had done differently and better. And if we can kind of create that sort of context within our dynamic with our ex, then that is going to allow us to be more forgiving and more understanding with not only each other, but also with ourselves, because this is also an internal struggle for your ex as well, too. They have to come to terms with the fact that maybe they made the wrong choice. Maybe they saw you the wrong way, and that maybe it's okay that they hurt you inadvertently, and that it's okay that they may have done things to cause you pain. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It's just that they were operating off of the wrong understanding. And if you can create this, then that is what is going to really help your ex to take that step through the door. And if you'd like to learn more about all of this, if you'd like to get some more help from us in terms of helping you to connect to your ex and helping them to want to get back together with you, our email newsletter is a great place to start. It's totally free to sign up. The link to that is down in the description box for this video. And we give you a nice little report when you sign up that kind of goes through some common myths and challenges and things that people tend to think are true that really aren't very helpful or resourceful. Anyway, go ahead and find that down in the description box below. But if you like what we're doing here, give this video a thumbs up, and think about subscribing to the channel as well too. But if you want to learn more about the 5 stages your ex goes through in getting back together, you can find a video series on that right over here, or you might want to find this video over here to be a helpful resource for you as well too. But anyway, thank you so much. Take care out there. This has been Clay with ModernLove.life, and I'll talk to you in the next video.